Well, this is the first time I've driven the car, so it's a full-on virgin feel. Well, the first initial feeling is it's got a heck of a lot of grip. And the second thing about it is that you can get into the feel of the car very, very quickly. It doesn't feel as if it rolls around a lot. And when it does, it's through the tyre. You can feel the tyre sort of rolling, but not body roll too much.
What's the natural balance of the car? Right.
There's a little bit of understeer, but you float the rear into the corner. So now we've got understeer, but straighten off the wheel a little bit, and it lets it float. You can feel it's very responsive on the damping. So you can feel the road and the bumps, but in a, not necessarily shaking you, but the feedback is there.
What about if we put it into sport now?
Sorry?
What about if we put it into sport?
Well, we'll tell you in a second. It's sharper through there. The change of direction is much, much sharper. I'd say that's one thing about it. It feels like it's dynamically stiffer.
How's the ball shift?
If you turn the ESP off, it only really affects it when you've got cornering load on the car and throttle. So for example, like now. But when you're actually straight ahead, it has got no effect at all. Then you get in, just get in, then you power on, hard on the throttle, let it run out, up to third gear, up to fourth gear, feel all the little bumps underneath your backside, in over the little bump in the chicane, change direction quickly, down to second, let the car float in. I'll pick up the throttle a little bit on and off just to get it settled, and then into the right-hander. Be careful not to brake too deeply, change the direction quick, blast of the throttle, off, now go on the throttle, third gear, float it into this corner. And then use the weight of the car just to turn. Then power on. Bit of oversteer correcting coming out. Use the road up to fourth gear. 110 down to third. Float it into the corner. And then through. I've got to say, when you drive it, I forget first of all, it doesn't have a roof. The thing that reminds me is you get all the smells, you get all the noise, and you get all that real one-to-one sensation. But torsionally it feels very stiff. And that, I noticed a lot through the first right-left, where there the front would tack in very, very quickly and get itself into position. I could throw it around, you can make it slide if you want, you can get an oversteering slide. Definitely the ESP off, sorry, it's more coming out when you've actually got steering angle on, a lot of steering angle. That's where it really starts to work. And if I was throwing the car through the chicane here, for example, it would start to work there a little bit more. With regard to the Sport, it feels like a stiffer platform, as opposed to necessarily stiffer pure damping. So going over bumps, it wasn't harsher for me going over bumps at all. It was the same in that side, but it just felt like it had a more roll control and pitch control. More roll than pitch, I would necessarily say. On the negative point, there's only 333 of them made. I would say that's one of them. And the second negative point I can think of, one's not in my garage. But I'll speak to Dr. Ulrich about that.
Brilliant. Thank you very much indeed. Hope that wasn't too much.
No, thank you, because it's the first time I've driven it. And I've got to say, yeah, but hey, tell you what a cruiser.